Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Your Excellency, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Ambassador Salah Ahmad, representing Her Excellency, Madam Minata Samate Sesuma, Honorable Soyata Maiga, Chairperson of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Honorable Vice Chairperson and members of the African Commission here present, my Lord Honorable Justice Sylvain Ore, President of the African Court, Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Republic of the Gambia, I want to crave your indulgence to stand on existing protocol. Thank you very much. On behalf of my colleagues of the Forum on the Participation of NGOs in the work of the African Commission, it is my pleasure and privilege as spokesperson to deliver this statement to this august body on this auspicious occasion. Let me, at the onset, acknowledge and thank the Chairperson, Honorable Soyata Maiga, and members of the African Commission for affording us this opportunity. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at the request of participants, I extend our gratitude to the government and people of the Republic of the Gambia for the hospitality extended in facilitating the activities of the 65th Ordinary Session, and to express the appreciation of the Forum of NGOs for the cordiality afforded them since their arrival on Gambian soil. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Forum on the Participation of NGOs in the 65th Ordinary Session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights and the 39th African Human Rights Book Fair was organized and facilitated by the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies in collaboration with the African Commission on Human and People's Rights and held from the 17th to 19th of October 2019. The turnout at the forum was beyond expectation, considering that participants were double those from the previous forum held in Egypt. It was worthy to note that participation was reflective of the mutual and professional interests. This led to the adoption of commendable outcomes. Over 270 representatives from 36 African countries participated, including participants from Europe and North America. The theme of the forum was aligned with that of the African Union of 2019, refugees, returnees, asylum seekers, and internally displaced persons towards durable solutions to forced displacement for Africa. The full report of the forum will be shared. I just wanted to highlight the fact that 8 country resolutions were adopted, as well as 4 thematic resolutions and 3 thematic recommendations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I crave your indulgence to present a few highlights from the said deliberations. After 10 plenary panels and 13 breakaway special interest groups, we were able to look at a number of specialized themes in terms of human rights, governance, and how they affect the lives of refugees, returnees, migrants, and IDPs. In reviewing the human rights situation on the continent, the forum took note of reports on the ongoing challenges on the enjoyment of human rights in many countries on the continent. And from east to west, north to south of the continent, violations of the freedom of assembly and association remains a major cause for concern in most of the countries reviewed, including Algeria, Burundi, Cameroon, Egypt, Republic of Guinea, Kenya, Lesotho, Mauritania, Nigeria, South Africa, Togo, and Zimbabwe. In Benin, we still see the exclusion of the opposition in forthcoming elections. The systematic harassment and targeting of human rights defenders in many of our countries was also reported. The closing of civic space remained on the agenda with the existence of restrictive legislation that pays little or no attention to neither the African Commission standards nor their own constitutions. Prosecution of several human rights defenders on the trump-up charges leading to judicial harassment into the work of the independent human rights organizations. Madam Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to congratulate Zimbabwe and Chad for presenting their state reports at this session, and we would want to congratulate them. However, it is with utter disbelief that the forum learned of some states that have never submitted a single state report since they ratified the African Charter in the 1980s. We call on the Commission to encourage the submission of state reports by these states and to urge them to live up to their reporting obligations. Madam Chairperson, in the spirit of upholding the principle of ensuring all human rights for all, it was agreed that education, and particularly education for human rights, cannot be ignored as a necessary ingredient in the process of nurturing a culture of human rights, good governance, peace, and security. Sensitization of the populace of Africa and giving priority to the dispensing of and access to justice cannot be overemphasized. The importance of fostering the involvement of youth in the development and maintenance of democracy was also a subject of discussion. The continuing death toll of illegal migrants has indeed reached dimensions beyond imagination, and the challenges faced by youth returnees, especially those who come back with no work for them, begs the urgent implementation of the agreements that have been put in place. The overcrowding also in prisons due to non-observance of judicial guarantees in respect of remand detainees, as well as the standard minimum rules, calls for attention, especially for some of these refugees and internally displaced persons. The forum calls on the African Commission to urge states to respect and implement all laws governing the treatment of prisoners. Africa is set to see 6 presidential elections in 2020. This, in spite of expectations for free, fair,